Hello, people. Hello, YouTube. Hello. It's about that time that we come together to talk about the DV 2023. Hello, anyone there? Hello. I'm going to give it a few minutes. One person is watching. Please type hi there so that I can acknowledge you and I can know who you are. I'm going to give it 4 minutes. 3 people watching. Thank you for joining me. Charities Bubble USA, your #1 channel. Thank you for your support. Thank you. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Please type a hi. Tell me if you can hear me well so that I can acknowledge who you are. Thank you. 1 minute, 17 minutes. I am still waiting for people to come. We have a lot to talk about. 6 minutes. 6 people, 1 minute, 27 seconds. I am going to give it 4 minutes and then we are going to start. We have a lot to talk about. We only have 2 days. So you better be here. You don't want to miss this. Close to 2 minutes. I can see people have started coming in. 7 people are watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. 2 more minutes. And I am going to start acknowledging people here in a little bit. 9 people watching. We have a lot to talk about, people. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about because we only have 2 days before we do our green card application. And if you have a question, kindly type it there. I am going to read your question and I am going to answer it to the best of my knowledge. I have less than a minute and then we are going to start. Like I said, our meetings, I normally come on live on Monday at this time. And I come live on Saturday at this time. I'm thinking of adding more days so that we can still continue interacting. I'm going to give it 1 more minute and then after 4 minutes, I'm going to acknowledge people. I can see so many questions here that have been asked by my people and I'm going to read them. And then we are going to talk about others that you're going to ask online because we want to make sure that we know what's going on. I only have 30 seconds and then I'm going to start this broadcast. Today is the 4th of October. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining. Call people to come. Call people to come so that we can say hi and we can see how everyone is doing. I hope all of you are doing well. 9 seconds and we are going to start this broadcast. So it's 4 minutes now. Here it's good morning. It's 10:04 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what time it is wherever you are, but hi, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. I am doing great here. I've been looking forward to do this live with you guys so that I can see where you are, if you're ready. But I'm going to start by acknowledging people here. Formats to the world, here I am. Thank you for joining me. Pauline Mungai, hello Charity, I'm tuned. Annie Diodat, hi. Formats to the world, we are ready for you. Formats to the world, again, we are tuned. Caroline Wamboy, hi Charity, I'm Carol from Kenya. I'm going to answer that question here in a little bit. Pauline Mungai, please give me your email address. I can do that after I'm off air. From us the world, Charity bubbled. From us the world, 18:04 East African time. Thank you for that. It's 18:04 East African time. Thank you. Achieng Opio, I'm in, Charity. Thank you for joining me. So let me see if there's another person there. So we are going to start this broadcast because I'm going to talk about questions. And like I said, and like I've been reminding you, and I've been posting some videos about preparation, because we only have 2 days, and the DV 2023 is going to start on Wednesday, the 6th. Simple always. Which cyber did you fill your DV application? Hapo Kenya. Now, I sent the name on my WhatsApp group. I don't know if you are in my WhatsApp group. So if you are in my WhatsApp group, or if you're not in my WhatsApp group, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna go and comment a link. I've been doing that to most people who have been asking for the link, because if I send you the link, then when you come to the group, then I'll type my email address there, and then you can see it, and then you can email me whatever you wanna email me. So once again, this is Charity's Bubble USA #1 channel. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate when I see you guys coming, when I see you guys are interested in this journey, because this is a journey that we have started, and I want to make sure that by the time you go to fill out your green card, you have the right requirements, you're ready, and you do not panic on that day, because we said that we are going to fill out our green card correctly, our application correctly, so that we increase our chances of winning. Because remember, I said that they want you to follow the guidelines, and when it was announced, I remember playing for you a video, and that guy said that you have to follow the guidelines. Otherwise, if you do not follow the guidelines, for example, you apply, you do your application and your passport is not current. By current, I mean that date that is on the passport is valid. It is not expired. That could be grounds for you to be disqualified. So make sure that the passport that you are using is valid. It's current. Even if it is 5 days to expire, but at that day that you are filling out your application, it shows that it is current. That is what you should use. Do not use a passport that is expired. Don't use a passport that is expired. I know that there are some people who have, especially the people in East Africa, they had passports, the old ones. And I read something yesterday that there was they were supposed to be changed so that people could have the new ones, and they were supposed to be changed at a certain time. Now, that passport might read that it is not expired, but since it cannot be used in East Africa, because I know you got new ones respectively in your country, now you cannot use that one. It has to be current. It has to be a current passport, and the passport that is currently being used in your whatever, in your respective country. Now, let me see. So I've talked about the passport. Now let me talk about the photo, because the photo, I think we are not getting well the photo, especially the people in the WhatsApp group, because people are wondering the requirements of the photo. Are they for only one person? And I have just posted a video like an hour ago. If you go, the first video that you will see is asking you if you have the right photo for the DV 2023 application. Now, if it is your family members, please make sure that everybody's photo meets the requirements. There is no exception with the photo. The exception is only the passport. The traveling passport is only the primary applicant. But the other photos, the little passport photos, those ones, everyone must have them. Even if it's a baby, even if it's a 1-day-old baby, they must have it. They require you to have that. Now, there's another thing that I want to explain, and I want you guys to understand about education and school. If you have reached Form 4, you have a certificate that you went to school for 12 years. You do not need work experience. You don't need work experience. You are good to go. So if you reached Form 4, that is the lowest. If you reached Form 4 and you have that certificate, then you are good to go. You are good to go to do the application. Now, If you did not reach those parts, maybe you reach some secondary education, or maybe you reach maybe primary, because they are not going to stop you from application. They will not stop you, because actually even the education and all that stuff, you are not asked during your application. So you should not worry about that. Right now, I want you to worry about your passport and to worry about the little photo. So that's what I need you to worry about right now. But the work experience and all the other stuff, the host, do not think about that at this juncture. We haven't reached there. We will talk about our work experience, and we will talk about the host after you have checked and you have won the green card. Now that is the next step, because remember, this is application is the first step. It is going to be a first step of so many steps that you're going to go through until you reach US and you stay for another 5 years until you become a citizen. So please do not worry about work experience at this juncture. But work experience is required for those people who do not have a Form 4 certificate. If you don't have that, then you have to prove that you have minimum work experience of 2 years, and job zone 4 and SPVP of 7. But that one, I need you to worry about that when you have won your green card. So forget about that. Just go do your application. Make sure your passport is current and those little photos are there. Now I said that if it is expired, if it's like 5 days to expire, and the date that you will do the application, it is current, it has not expired, please use it. So I hope that we are clear on that, because I do not want you guys to be mixed up and to be confused, and you don't know what's going on. So the first application, that's the only thing that you need. Of course, if you have children, you have to know their date of birth, and you have to write their names as is in their birth certificate. Now, on the other hand, on your passport, there is a name that is there. When you go to fill out your application, please write your name as it is written on your passport. That will make it very easy for you. Just because I know they start with the last name, and then they go the first name, and then the middle name. So please make sure, and I am going to post another video tomorrow on how to fill out that, so that you know, like you have a rough idea of how it's gonna go. And then I'm gonna think I'm gonna see if I'm gonna be coming live like often, so that I can remind you guys. So let me see if I have a question here before I go to so hi Charity, I'm Carol from Kenya. I'm single with 2 kids. I have a passport, but my kids do not have. Can I still apply? Can my status has any effect? No. If you are single, you are single. And it's only the primary applicant who needs a passport. Now, I do not know if you had been married traditionally or what, but if you are single, you are single. Now, make sure that you include all the kids. And let me, I'm going to pull up a document here in a little bit so that I read for you guys, because I don't want to, I don't want to do something called witch hunting. You know, witch hunting is whereby you are saying something, but you are not sure. So I am going to share a screen here for DV 2023 instructions and read for you about marriage, because I want you to understand what they are requiring about marriage. I do not want you to get lost. I want you to understand. So I'm going to share my screen here, so that I can show you. I'm not sure. Let me see. So I want to get rid of this. Hold on. I need to share. This is what I need to share. Or if I'm not able to share, I'm going to read it for you here, because sometimes. So share here, Chrome tab, there, share. I hope you can see that screen. Now, I am going to scroll all the way to the marriage part, and I am going to read it for you, because I want us to be clear. I want us to be clear. Now this, I am scrolling here, and I do not want you to go offline, because this is very important. Even if you don't see my face, I am still here. U.S. Department of State, instructions for the 2023 Diversity Immigrant Visa Program. Now I am gonna go to marital status. All these are requirements, and my second last video I have explained everything about this one, but right now I am gonna read it so that we can understand. Now, number 14, guideline number 14, if you are unmarried, you write you are unmarried. Married with and my spouse is not a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident, then you tick there. That is if your husband or wife are here and they are citizens or they are lawful permanent residents. Now, if your spouse came here to visit and they did not go back home, that is not a citizen and that is not a lawful permanent resident. So you cannot write that. Even if your husband in here, if they don't have the right papers, they are not, they came here as a visitor, then they are not. So you can write there. So you can say, you can, so excuse me there, I think I'm mixing myself up. So married and my spouse is not. So if your spouse had come here, maybe they live here in the US and they do not have citizenship or low permanent residence, you write them there. Because there was a question that was asking, if my husband is there and he doesn't have the right documentation, do I write him? Yes, you have to write your husband. Now, if you're married and your spouse, because we said that even people in the US can do the application, your spouse lives in the US and they are a permanent resident and you don't have permanent residency or citizenship, you fill there, married and my spouse is a US citizen or a US legal permanent resident. If you are divorced, and divorced means that you have paperwork that you are divorced, you show there. If you are widowed, you show there. If you are legally separated, you show there, and then you will enter their details. You will enter their name, their date of birth, the gender, city and town of birth, country of birth of your spouse, and a photograph of your spouse meeting the same technical specifications as your photo. Now, I want to read for you here, because here is where people are getting lost. I hope you can see my screen. Now, failure to list your eligible spouse or listing someone who is not your spouse will make you ineligible as the DV principal applicant and your spouse and children ineligible as DV derivative applicants. Now, that means that if you do not state that you had a spouse, it doesn't matter whether you are married traditionally. I said that we are not going to leave our traditions. If you're married traditionally, write there that you're married. If you fail to write your spouse and you had been married and maybe you got separated, maybe you know, like, let me give it like a simple example whereby let me bring myself here so that you guys can see me. If let's assume like you got married traditionally, you didn't go and do a wedding or anything, and then you separated. Maybe the woman got out of that marriage, and they went to and rented a house somewhere else, or they went to their home. Now, if you had been living in such an arrangement and you have kids, you have to list that man, because that is a traditional marriage. Because you don't want them to go and ask you, you are single, you have kids, where is their dad? You do not want them to ask that. So if you are married traditionally, like me, I told you guys that me and my husband were married traditionally. So what we did after we won our green card is when we went and legalized our marriage. So I need you to get that very clearly. Now let me go on and read, because I want to read the whole paragraph so that you guys can know where do you fit and what are you required to do. So I'm going to go ahead. You must list your spouse even if you are currently are separated from him or her, unless you are legally separated. So you must list them, and that's why I'm saying even if you ran away from your husband and you're not living with them, you have to list them if you have not been legally separated by the court or by the court or by any office, any legal office. You have to list that person. It doesn't matter even if you haven't seen them in 5 years. You have to list them. Okay, because US is different, and let me tell you, I think why they do that is that here when people divorce or they separate, they still have contact, especially if they have kids. You find that it's not like Kenya, whereby people they divorce and they don't talk to each other, they pass each other on the road. Now here is different. Here, if people divorce, you find that, and especially if they have kids, they still meet, they still talk. Sometimes they even go to church together. That is how US is. That enmity that comes in Africa, whereby people have separated and you don't talk to each other, or maybe you take the kids, you don't want them to see their dad, that doesn't happen here. Every parent counts here, and that is why they have put that guideline there. So it doesn't matter whether you're not talking to each other, the kids are never affected here in the US. And that is why they are saying, if you are separated from your spouse, maybe you ran away and you had been married, you have to list that person unless you are legally married. So I hope we are understanding this, that each other on that point. Now, legal separation is an arrangement when a couple remain married but live apart following a court order. So a legal separation, there has to be a court order. If there is no court order, then that's not a legal separation. Now let us go on and see what they are saying. So when a couple, let me say, legal separation is an arrangement when a couple remain married but live apart following a court order. If you and your spouse are legally separated, your spouse will not be able to immigrate with you through the DV program. Now, if you had been married in the court and now you have separated legally, you have documentation to show that you have separated, even if you list your spouse there, they will not benefit from your winning. They are not going to benefit from your winning. So I hope that you understand that part. Now let me go on reading, because I want to read you this stuff so that you can understand. Okay. Your spouse will not be able, okay, you will not be penalized if you choose to enter the name of a spouse whom you are legally separated. So they will not penalize you if you put the name there, but remember that person will not benefit from your green card. If you are not legally separated by a court order, now I need you to get this, because this is where we are getting lost, because another person was asking me, do I have to list someone that I don't talk to? Now I need you to listen to this statement. It says, and I have highlighted it, if you are not legally separated by a court order, you must include your spouse even if you plan to be divorced before you apply for the DV visa and your spouse does not intend to immigrate. So that is very, very important. You have to follow those guidelines. Now let me finish. This is the last paragraph. If your spouse is a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, do not list him or her in your entry. So if your husband is a U.S. citizen or is a permanent resident, those ones, they have no business with green card. They don't need a green card. A spouse who is already a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident will not require to be issued a visa. Therefore, if you select married and my spouse is a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident on your entry, you will not be prompted to include further information on your spouse. Okay? Now, let me go to frequently asked question here. I hope it is going to click. Oh, it's not going to click for me. But anyway, it's okay. So, I hope that you guys have understood that point. So, Caroline, unless you are legally separated to your husband, you have to put that man. If you, I don't know, because you said you are single. I don't know. You know, single means so many things. So, I hope that you have gotten something from there. So, that one wants my email address. I said I will give you my email address when I am off here. Okay, do live every day till the end of the application. I will try all my best to do live. Even if I come here live for 30 minutes, I will try. I will try all my best just to be here for you guys when you're doing it. Okay. Pauline Mongai, on the photos, I am going to upload all of them for my children and husband too. Yes, you will upload all of them. And then after you have uploaded all of them, if you go and watch the video that is current right now, the one that's current on my page, after you have saved your photo on the computer, what you're gonna do is that you will go to the photo checker. I need you to watch that video. It's not very long. It's a 15-minute video. When you go, the photos that you have uploaded, you will enter them in the photo checker, and the photo checker is gonna tell you. It is gonna help you edit that photo. And when you edit that photo, it will tell you whether that photo is correct or it is not correct. And I have listed I have explained so well. So I need you guys to go and watch that video. It explains very well about the photo, because I want you to get it right. I really want you guys to get right. So Achieng Opio is saying, I'm in Charity, thank you. Which cyber did you fill your DV application? Okay, I talked to that lady and she said it's fine. So I'm going to talk about that. My application, I filled it in Kayole. And that lady is still there, but it is not her herself. It is her sister-in-law who is there. Her name is Lynn. And She is in Kayole Corner. I don't know if you guys know next to the market, the corner market. She's just there. Her cyber is called OnTech Cyber. So I'm marketing for her. I'm just marketing her. I don't have anything, whatever. I'll just market her. So send me the link. I will send the link. Okay. Hi Charity, what if I apply I'm single and married legally before DV results in May? Can I add my wife? Now, that adding is what is going to make you to be denied the visa. Don't add anybody. Because they will say it's a marriage of convenience. There's an example that I gave my last live. I said if you have this person and you feel that this is the right person, because when you feel the DV lottery, it doesn't mean like your life will change, but at the same time, if you win and you add a person, they are going to penalize you. So why don't you just get married? You don't even have to do a big wedding. You get married and then you write as husband and wife. Or you write that person as your wife, and like as we were married, although as we had kids, so that's going to be different, but you write that you're married. But if you write that you're single and then come at that time you want to add that person, they will deny you the visa, because winning a green card doesn't guarantee that you will get a visa to travel in the US. You have to follow the guidelines, and that is what I am reading. Okay, when choosing educational qualification, should I put vocational training versus yeah? So if you went to a vocational college is something like you went for hairdressing, you went for welding, you went for plumbing, you went for mechanic. Those are vocational colleges. So you can enter that you went because there is that space that tells you to enter for the vocational college. So that's a very good question. Thank you, guys. And let me acknowledge more people here. Let me see. Caroline Wamboy, Ruth Jambi, thank you. Madhya Sironga, thank you for joining. Ruth Jambi, thank you. Joyce Kainas, Canada, content creation, thank you, my friend. This is my fellow YouTuber. When they come in, I just like to acknowledge them. I like to. She talks about Canada, how to go to Canada. So you can pass by her whatever and see her channel and see what she does. She talks about how you can move about from Kenya to go to Canada. I'll talk about that. Achieng Apio, I can see you. I'll talk about your question here in a little bit. Mother Kagwala, thank you for joining. Prince Minor MC, thank you for joining. Grace Wairimo, thanks for joining. You're not very late. We've only been on for 26 minutes. Paul Mwangi, thank you for joining us. Jaria Nancy Bambi, thank you for joining. Caroline Wamboi, thank you. Karen Kirote, my good friend there, thank you, Caroline Wamboi. Grace Wairimo. Yeah, so let me go on again with the questions. Let me see if I have another one. I have to click so that I can see. Now, hello Charity. I'm a clinical officer. I have the testimonial, but my transcript is not yet now. When choosing education, now if it is not there, you say some college. It is some college because you have not yet graduated from college. So you'll say some college. There's a part there that says some college. So I talked about that one. When choosing educational qualification, I talked about that one. You're doing well, dear. Thank you. Now, Achieng Opio is asking, my passport has my name as Achieng I Opio. How do I make it on the application? Now, you have your passport. Your passport, I need you to write your names as the way they are written on your passport, because I know your passport starts with your last name. The last name is the name of your parent, or if you have two names, like the Christian name is the first name. The middle name or the given name is the one that you're given by your parents. Like me, I'm named after my mom's dad. So that name for my grandmother is my given name. The surname is the name that belongs to your parent. So I need you to look at your passport, Achieng, and then you write exactly, you fill out your application exactly as your passport is written. And you are not going to go wrong with that, because that's a good guide. So, Charity, I don't need education qualification, and my occupation is below zone 4 and 7. Should I apply? Now, I talked about that. I said they are not the restrictions, but even if you apply and you don't have education qualifications and your job is not a zone 4 and it doesn't have an SVP of 7, they are not going to give you. They won't give you. Nobody is telling you not to apply. You can apply, Mother kwa gala, but even if you apply and you do not have, you lack those two, they will not give you a visa. Now, if you are married, I don't know if you're married, and your husband meets any of those qualifications, he has a high school education, or he has minimum work requirement, he can apply as the primary applicant, and then he can put your name second. You can still benefit from that. That is for people who haven't gone to high school and their work doesn't work. If they are married, you can derive that from your spouse. Another thing I said, if your child is below 21 years old and they are unmarried, what I want you to do, you must include them in your application. That's a rule. And also encourage them to fill it for their own. See, you include them and then they can fill theirs by themselves because they are an adult. That will increase, they would have two chances. And I said, if it's a husband and a wife, both of you can fill, so that you have two chances. But remember to include everybody else in the family. Now, Prince Minor. Prince Minor MC, hi Charity, I am Minor, currently in Qatar. I request that you provide us with the best website which is recommended in filling the visa lottery, please. Now, Prince Minor, travel.state.gov, and I am coming here tomorrow to talk about that website. I don't want to pull out another document because I've already pulled out the guidelines. So tomorrow I will come here and I'm going to talk about that, the website, so that you guys can know where to go to fill out your application on the 6th. But let me do that tomorrow morning. I promise you I'll be here tomorrow morning to talk about it. So stay tuned. The same time is where I normally come live at 10. Grace Warimo, hello, tuned but late. How are you, Charity? We are ready like never. Yeah, thank you. Can you clarify about the old Kenyan passport that has not expired? What I said about this passport is this. I know there was an East African passport, but then they decided that that whole East African passport was changing. So they gave you guys different. If it's Kenya, different. If it's the other, different. And all the other countries, different. So let's assume that you did not take the new one, but you still have the old one and it has a current date. Now that one is not going to help you much because it is expired as per your country. It is not expired, yes, but it is expired per your country. So it's not gonna, it's like what can I say? Let me try and think something. You know, like that case whereby they changed Kenyan money and people were saying I had hidden 30,000 in the mattress and I just found that money and that money is useless. It's the same. It's still money, but the government is not using that kind of document. So what I would say, if I were you, I would get a temporary passport, do the application, and then as soon as I am done, go and start processing a permanent, the other international passport, the book one. And then after that, that temporary passport and the documentation that you used, every paperwork that you are given when you went to renew, and your other passport, I would go with it I would send it with my DS-260. That's what I would do. But that one, that was ile ya kitambo. Let me speak English here. Ile mlipo ya kitambo, before waseme every country lazima ikuwe na moja, ile inaweza kosa kufanya kazi kwa sababu kuna vile the way the government says that this one we are not using this one, we are using this new. That means it's not expired, it's good, but your country, your government is not recognizing it. So if it's not recognized, you'd rather have a temporary passport, you use it, and then you make sure you apply for a permanent, for the other international one, but make sure that you take documentation to say why you did that. So that could be easier, because tomorrow is the 6th. I don't know how long it's taking to process a whole passport in Kenya. I know Kenya is they delay, but still here in the US they are delaying, because you find that now, like I just applied for my citizenship passport, and the regular way it took 7 weeks before they brought mine. So it's taking time. So so you could do that, but don't use that one. The you know, the one that you had been given before. Don't use that one. Okay. Paul Maggie is saying, Charity, how can I be late today for the positive info? Luckily, I'm tuned, waiting for the day to apply my part and wait the rest for God. Now, when we do the application, I will still come back here and tell you we have done the application. Now, forget about it. Don't think about it anymore. After you have done your application, forget about it until May. But make sure that you keep your confirmation number. And we said that we are going to do it by ourselves. I'll come here and guide you how to do it by yourself. Okay. Our marriage has a come, we stay for 10 years. There was no ratio. So it ended that way. So I can say I'm single. Again, no need for passport for my kids. Oh, no. Oh, you cannot do that. I just read that if you are married and you are not legally separated, you have to include that man there. Those are American, those are their guidelines. Those are American rules. And I repeat, I'm going to repeat again, Caroline Wamboi. Here in the US, even if people divorce, they still talk to each other. They still even go for family gatherings because you have kids and kids want to see their dad and their mom. So those guidelines, I understand them better because I live here in America. I know like how we do it here is not like the way we have done it at home, you know. So you have to include that person there. Unfortunately, you have to do that. But if you win your green card, you better include him, put his name there. And then if you win, then you can write an email to the Department of State and ask them what they are going to advise you about. That's what I would do, but I would not leave anything behind. I said, and I gave you an example. It's like, let's assume you have done a crime. You have committed a crime, right? But then you want to hire a lawyer. Most people, when they do something, they say that they haven't done it. And I'm not telling you guys to go and do something bad and say that you haven't done it. But if you, every time you hire a lawyer, regarding on what that lawyer is representing you for, they require you to tell you the whole truth. And this is the same thing here. If you had been married for 10 years, it doesn't matter whether that man paid dowry or whatever. That was your husband. Now, they want that name there. So you'd rather have that name there. And then when you win your green card, then you can write, you can email them and tell them this is the situation. But I still included him. That gives you the leeway. They are not going to kick you out because you told the truth. So please, you have to include him. I know it's hard, and I know how it goes, but that's how it is. Okay, now let me see. Oops, I didn't understand again. I got confused about writing my ex-husband in application. I hope that I have explained that. No need of passports for my kids during the time of application. No, only the primary applicant. Even your husband, if he doesn't intend to apply, he wants to be the second person, he doesn't need. But the primary applicant must. That is a must. You must have a passport. Sister Charity, I need your WhatsApp number. I'll give you that. Watching from Kiambu, Jerry Lucia, that's my homie. Hi Charity, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Now I have a sister who has lived in my house since primary. She turned 21 yesterday. Please let me know how this will go. I would wish to come with her. No, she has already turned 21. So that one you cannot come with her because they say 21 years and below. So if she turned 21, you cannot come with her. But if you have a child, and at the time of your application, maybe if you are applying on the 6th, they are 21 years old, and then on the 7th, they turn 22 years old, they will travel with you. They will travel with you to the US because there is a law that protects those kids. They do not age out. They do not age out. So what happens is that at the time of application, if they were below 21 years old, they will still travel with you because you'll get your visa at the next year. Because right now you have we have done the application this month, and then we will check in May. So you will be traveling the other year, the next year. So that one is not eligible. But if they turned 21, if they were 21 by the time of application and they turned 22, you will still travel with them. So what I would advise you to do is have her do her own separate application, and she will be fine. Some of us have applied this green card for 12 years in a row, almost giving up. You know what? Me, I never give up in life. Did you watch my story? That one I was the story that I gave a personal story. I shared my personal story because I just felt like I would share it when I saw people being bashed because their kids had died when they were giving birth. So I was like, let me just share my story. I don't give up in life. And I think me not giving up has really helped me go a milestone. So it doesn't matter even if you have applied for 12 years. I don't know how that feels because me, I just applied one time and I got it. Just one time. And actually, when I was doing the green card, I didn't even think that I could win, but I got it. So don't give up. Well, that's what I can tell you. Do not give up. Life is not about giving up. Life is about soldiering on. You just soldier on. Do not give up. It's like when you are in the desert and you don't have water to drink, and you can see that there is, let me first of all remove this trim. You can see that there is a vulture behind you that is waiting for you to fall down so that it can eat you. And you still want to move on, because if you fall down, it's going to come and eat you. It's the same way with life. You have to soldier on. Do not give up. I wouldn't tell you to give up. Fill it out. And maybe in May, you will call me here. Because after we have won our green card in May, I will come and I will want people to come and let us know how many people won. Because I believe that some of you will win the green card. So please do not give up on that. Pixel Productions, welcome. Hi, most phones and cameras do not take square photos. That means the photo must be edited to meet the specifications. Now, that photo, do not edit it there. What you do, after you have taken the photo, the photo checker edits the photo. It does edit the photo. As long as you have taken a photo on a white background, that person is not wearing the glasses. Their eyes are open. And if they are not covering their head, if they don't need to, if it's not religious, if you follow the guidelines, and I posted a video, my current video is about the photo. Now, when you go to the photo checker, it edits it. It makes it a 2x2. That's what I mean. So you don't edit it because they say you don't tamper with that phone. You don't tamper with that photo. So please make sure that you take the photo the way it is, follow their guidelines. Even if you do that work, Pixel Productions, I think you should watch that video so that you know what your clients want. Because like me, I read stuff so that I can come and tell you what's going on here. And I'm not going to come here and miss. That's why I like pulling up a document so that I can read for you what they're saying. So go find out about it. And then after that is when they're doing the application, the photo checker is going to edit the photo to a 2x2. So don't edit that photo. Okay, call me B. How do people with special needs can submit as well? So what kind of special needs? I said it is green card doesn't have discrimination. So anybody can apply. Anybody can apply. Application, everybody. But now when you are disabled, they are not going to discriminate you. They are only going to deny you the visa if you do not follow their rules. You must follow their rules, their guidelines, and give the right requirements. Let's assume that you applied, you do the application and you are in a hurry, or you are very nervous and you put the wrong name, or you put the wrong passport number, or you put the wrong date of birth for your spouse. If you did that, then that is ground for you to be disqualified, because that is a different information. I told you numbers matter here. Here, without everything is date of birth, date of birth, date of birth, date of birth. So you have to be keen. But if they have special needs, it's okay. Put them there. Do not hide. You know, in Africa, the people who are disabled and they have special needs, there are some people who tend to hide them behind. They want to put them in the closet. No, US is not like that. Put everyone there. Doesn't matter how they are. Just put them there. Grace Wairimu, I need the WhatsApp group link. I'll post that. Achieng Opio, my camera guy told me exactly what you said. Thank you. So I like people who are acknowledging what I am saying, so that even it gives you guys even courage, even to know that I am telling you the right thing. And I'm not gonna come here and not read what the DV 2023 is saying. I wanna pull up, because most of us don't even have time. Most of us don't even understand this stuff. Because something like even when you're doing the application, there is the country of residence and your native country. That's a question that most people do not understand. I did not understand it myself. I didn't. So those simple things, that's why I'm here, to make you understand better, to give you tips so that you are able to be successful. So let me see if I have questions here that I haven't answered in this phone. I told you I don't know how to do my computer and my phone, so I like to scroll on my phone here. Okay. Okay, Charity Babo USA, thanks. Oh my gosh, I hope this one opens. Let me see. So, do you mean that if I get 5 years visa, I can't stay for five years without coming back? Now, there was a person who was asking me that. So, you have gone to the American embassy and you have been invited here by someone. to come and visit. They give you a visa for 5 years, right? So this person is asking, if I go there and stay for 5 years, and is it bad? Now it is wrong, because a visitor, now Americans believe what you tell them. Even me right now, I always believe what people tell me. Well, if you said something, you told me something, and then tomorrow you tell me a different thing, then I am going to say that you are not telling me the truth. So if you have came here for an invitation, they expect you to go back home. See, they expect you to go back home. But then you decide that you are not going to back home. Maybe you go back home after 5 years, right? They won't ask you when you're going home. They don't ask anybody when they're going home. And then you get a chance that you have to come back to the US. So you still have to go to the American embassy. They will ask you, you went to visit for 5 years. What were you doing for those 5 years? They will ask you that. And another thing is that if you do not have the right documentation, if you don't not write the right, they are called makaratasi. If you do not have the right papers, I mean you don't have a social, because when you come here as a visitor, the only thing you have is that passport that has a visa. Now that one, you're not going to be hired by anybody. Nobody is going to hire you. And you can only be, maybe you can look for people to exploit you and pay you whatever they want to pay you, because you don't have papers. And they know that you don't have papers, because the first thing you do when you go to any office to get a job, you have to give them your social, your permanent residence card, and your ID. Those are a must. So you have stayed here for 5 years, and then you go back, and then you go to the American embassy. They will not give you that visa, because they'll be like, that person went, yes, you were a visitor, but you did not, how do you visit for 5 years? And that is why you find that you go to the American embassy, you say this story, right? And then after you say this story, you do not know that that person is writing down. So they write down what you are saying, and then you go. After 5 years, then you get invited again. Or after 5 years, maybe you get a green card. Then you go, they ask you, why did you overstay? And you had told them, I am going for a graduation, or I am going for a funeral. And you had they had asked you, how long do you expect to stay? You tell them maybe like 3 months or 6 months, and then I go back home. They write that down. And then after 5 years, you will go back to the American embassy, and you will say, they will see that you had stayed for 5 years, and then they will ask you why you stayed, and then you will give them a different thing, and you had stayed that you were going to stay for 6 months. They will not give you, because they will say that you're not truthful. So you have to be careful. Now, and for me, I say, if you come here with the right way, you can come here with a green card. You can come here as a student. And also, if you come here as a student, it's different. It's not like a green card person. A student, when you come here, the first thing that you do, you have to show them that you will be able to pay your school fees for a whole school year, right? And then from there, maybe there are avenues whereby you work in the college, you work for 20 hours, and maybe you are able to raise your fees. But you still do not have an ID, a work permit for you to be able to go and work outside. So that's a limitation. Now, if you are a visitor, nothing. You can't work anywhere unless you're hired by people who want to exploit you, because there's some people who just hire people. You find that maybe a job is supposed to be paid like 15 an hour, maybe they're giving you $5, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Another thing, if you come here without paperwork, even accessing medical care is hard, because when you go to, let's assume you have gone to a doctor's office, the first thing that they ask you is your ID. They ask for your date of birth. They ask you for your proof of insurance. You won't have all that when you are here with no paperwork. Where are you going to go? Because even when you're applying for insurance, the first thing you have to do is your ID. You have to put your social. You don't have all that stuff. So that's why I say, fill out the green card and be hopeful that you will get it. I know there are other ways, and I'm going to talk about those other ways that you can come here. But most of the time, you find that there are people here who do not have papers. I don't know them personally, but I know that there are some people who they just don't have papers. But if someone was honest enough, if someone was bold enough, although they wouldn't come here live on this channel to talk about it, if someone was bold enough and say that, like the hardships that they go through without those papers, then you would understand better. But you don't have anybody to tell you about it. Like when you come to the US with no papers, what happens? So if you come here and stay for 5 years, you will be in trouble. If you want to come back again, you will be in trouble, because they'll be like, you went, you overstayed or whatever, and then now you want to go back there and stay for another 5 years. There is no trust there. So you have to be careful. So please, that's just that's this side, like how we see it. Most people are not going to tell you. Because, like, for example, if you see someone has gone to the US and they have stayed for 30 years and they have never gone home, that person doesn't have the right documentation. And they know that if they go back home, they won't be allowed to come back because they don't have papers. But if you see someone who comes, they go home, and then they come back, and you know, they do not have like fear or whatever. Even students go home because after you have closed school, you can go home and then you come back. But if you come here with no papers, believe me, you will stay here for 30 years. And after you have stayed for 30 years, maybe, and it's unfortunate, some people even, they stay here and then they end up even passing away. They don't even have money to be taken home. So other people are the ones who you have to do harambes and everything so that you're able to take that person home. And that person has never been home for even 30 years or 40 years. Why? Because it restricts you. If you don't have papers, you won't come back here. They won't let you come back. So you have to know, even when you are going to, and that's why even I acknowledge my friend here, Joyce. She talks about how to go to Canada. I'm not saying that you should not come to the US, but look for different avenues so that you can know these things. But if you want to come here and you want to overstay, you stay for 5 years, you will be exploited. You know, someone can tell you, I'm going to stay with you, and they want to make you their babysitter. Because here babysitting, you don't get baby, you cannot afford to hire a baby. Like me, I don't have a babysitter. It's only, we whatever. When I'm at work, my husband is home watching the kids. When I am home, my husband is at work. That's how we work. Because you cannot afford a house help. So you find that someone wants to get you from Kenya and they want you to come and take care of their kids. And they don't want to pay you. Or maybe they want to pay you like $50 or $100 a month. And you find that at that time, when a normal person who has papers and they are going to work, the least maybe they are making is $10 an hour. You see what I mean? So, and then you will be staying in fear because that person will start telling you stories so that you don't decide that you can get out of there. So that's why I talk about green card, because I know green card, when you come here with green card, in 2 weeks, I know you will get a job, because you will come, you will go, you get your social, and then you will get your ID. Your ID, actually, they give you a waiting paper. That waiting paper, you can go and get hired with it because they can see that that is an ID that you are waiting for. So that's why I tell you guys, I encourage you to fill out the green card, because the green card, it's good. I'm here with the green card. My husband is here with the green card. My children, they are here with it. Even the kids that I brought from Kenya, now they are American citizens. So try this thing. If you're married, try, your husband tries. Make 2 separate entries. You are allowed to make 2 separate entries. Try. Do not give up on life. I wouldn't tell you to give up on life, because even me, I don't give up. I told you that I'm going back to school to get my degree. And actually, I'll go back to school with kids who are even younger than my son. So don't give up on life. Even whatever you're doing in Kenya, do not give up. Just do what you're required to do, and you will get there. So let me see if I have another question here. I even got out of way. So this one was asking about a person who has come here and overstayed. So question: I have a stepdaughter, but she isn't living with my family. Do I need her visa photos during my DV application, or is it just list her name and that's it? No, you don't need to list her name. This is your stepdaughter. That is your stepdaughter. So what you need to do is have the correct photo for her, and then you add her there on the kids side. And I'm going to read the kids here. Let me read for you. I like to read for you stuff so that you know. You are not seeing my face here, but I'm going to read number 12, 13, 14, children. You must list all your living children who are unmarried and under 21 years of age at the time of your DV entry, whether they are your natural children, your stepchildren, even if you are now divorced from that child's parent, your spouse's children, or children you have formally adopted in accordance to the applicable laws. List all children under 21 years of age at the time of your electronic entry, even if they no longer reside with you or you do not intend them to immigrate under the DV program. You are not required to list children who are already US citizens or lawful permanent resident, though you will not be penalized if you include them. Okay? So parents and siblings of the entrant. The entrant is the primary applicant. Are you are in no sorry no sorry, because let me answer this question, because this one is a good sentence, because someone was talking about a sister. Parents and siblings of the entrant are ineligible to receive DV visas and dependents, and you should not include them in your entry. So if you have a sister you have been living them with, do not include them in your entry, because they are ineligible. They are ineligible unless maybe you have adopted them. You know, maybe the parents can die and maybe you have adopted those kids and they are yours. You know, when you adopt kids, they become yours. They become yours. So they are not eligible. Okay. So I did that. I said don't add anybody. Okay. Let me see if there is another question here. No need of passports for, oh, that one I said you have to have passports. You must have passports. Okay. Let me see if there is another question. But if I don't have another question, I want to read for you this stuff so that you can understand. Okay. I talked about kids there and I talked about marriage, because that is where we are. Now, I had said that I would read for you the list of the countries that qualify. So I need you to listen here. If your country is here, you will know that you qualify, because there are so many countries here. So list of countries and areas by region whose natives are eligible for the DV 2023. So I'm going to read Africa. Algeria, Angola, Benin, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Central African Republic, Chad, Comoros, Congo Democratic Republic of the Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, Djibouti, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Libya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Mauritius, Morocco, Mozambique, Namibia, Niger, Rwanda, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, and Somalia, and South Africa. Now, I said Niger, I didn't say Nigeria, because Nigeria is not there. South Sudan, Tanzania, Togo, Tunisia, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Now, those countries are eligible to apply. And here they say, in Africa, natives of Nigeria are not eligible in this year's diversity program. They are not there. So someone was asking me in the WhatsApp group, if Nigeria is there. Now Nigeria is not there. Nigeria is not there, but Niger is there. Niger is there, but Nigeria is not there. So I've read that. Let me see if there is another thing that I can read for you. I like to read so that I can help you guys. Let me see. Yeah. So fees, do you need to pay? How much fees does it cost to enter the diversity visa program? There is no fees charged to submit the electronic entry. So, no fees to submit. However, if you are selected and apply for a diversity visa, you must pay all the required application fees. So right now we are not paying anything. So, how and where do I pay the DV immigrant visa fees if I am selected? Now we'll think about that when we are selected. That one is done depending on what they tell you on their email. So, now, I am already, someone asked me that if they are a student or if they come to the US on a different thing, if they can apply. I am already registered for an immigrant visa in another category. Can I still apply for the DV program? Yes, you can. Can I download and save the EDV entry form into a word processing program and finish it later? No, you cannot. Can I save the form online and finish it later? No, you cannot. Okay? Now, let me read for you the passport, because we were talking about the passport. If your passport number changes for any reason, you will have to provide evidence why it has changed to the Department of State's Kentucky Consular Center before they will schedule your DV interview. If you enter a false, I need you to pay attention to this, inaccurate or invalid passport number in your entry, you will be ineligible. We suggest you make a legible photocopy of the passport to use for the entry and store it in a secure location with your entry confirmation number. So please pay attention to those things. You know, people get lost because of not reading. I told you that people are being snatched their farms because they have been given a small document that they did not read. Now that document is very long. Actually, I even shared it in my WhatsApp group. And if you If you don't want to read, there is a video there that I talked about requirements of the DV. Go sit down and watch that one, and I have explained everything. I need you to understand. I do not want you to fail. I do not want you to fail. I need you to understand this stuff so that you are successful. Because just one slight mistake, you will not get it. One number that you wrote wrong, you will not get it. Okay? So, let me see if there is something, another question here. I think I'm exhausting the questions. So how about those who are not married and have kids? Now, I don't understand that question, because if you had stayed with that man, then that you have to write them. You have to write that person. So but if you are unmarried and you have kids, then you can write that you are unmarried, but then you'd have a lot of story to explain about those kids. So you will decide on what to do there. Okay. So I said you can't overstay. I think I have exhausted the questions that people have asked, and unless there is another question that you guys want to ask, and I'm trying to scroll here to see if there is anybody who is asking me a question. 25 people are watching me. I really appreciate you guys. We are almost 2,000. We are remaining like 400 to be 2,000 subscribers, and I know without you that I would not be here. Now I am gonna look for time and come here every morning to remind you about what to do, and just to guide you. And if you have a question, I am going to, as soon as I get off here, I will type my WhatsApp group, and then I will put my email address there so that you can get it from there. So I normally say that you have to do a little bit of effort for you to get my information. So you will get my email address on my WhatsApp group. So if you get the link from there, you click on it, you get into the WhatsApp group. And normally what happens in the WhatsApp group, people ask questions, and when they ask questions, I give it time. Like I can give it a day, or depending on my schedule, because I have another job that I am doing. So I come, I read all your questions, and I answer them on just one page, and then I just post it there on the WhatsApp group that I have answered everybody's question. And it is very helpful because like you are able to ask as many questions as you can there in the WhatsApp group. Now let me see. I'm in class now. Oh, that one wants to do his part. No need of passport during time of application. Our marriage was come we stay. No, you can't say that you are single. I talked about that. So I think I have exhausted all the questions, and my 1 hour is over, guys. So I am gonna end this broadcast. So please go watch that video about the requirements, and watch the video about the photo. I need you to get it right. You don't want to be disqualified because of a photo. You don't want to be disqualified because you wrote the wrong information. You omitted one of your family members. You do not want to be disqualified, because you might say that it is not going to know. Now let me tell you what happened the other day. So one of my WhatsApp people wrote me a message. She was like, no, actually she didn't write me a message. She sent me a photo. When she sent me a photo, I looked at that photo, and that photo, it was correct. I could tell that photo was correct, because I've taken photos here in the US for my passport and for other things. So I can tell. Even if I'm not 100% there, I know 98% I can tell a photo. So I told her that photo is nice. And then it's like she was testing me. I told her it's nice because I like to tell how it is. And then she sent me another message immediately, and then she told me, why is the photo checker not taking that photo? So I asked her, when was that photo taken? Because that was the only thing that I could ask her so that I could know. And she told me that she had used that photo to apply for last year. So I told her, yes, it's a correct photo, but that photo is old. That that website where you upload your photo is very high tech. Let me use the word high tech. That it will detect. It is gonna detect, and that is why her photo was being refused. So guys, sometimes when you want something good, you have to sweat for it. So go get a digital photograph. it is not going to cost you much. It is just something that it's like preparing. It's like, let's assume it's a guest who is coming in your house, and you have to go out of your way. You have to clean up your house. Maybe you cook some food and tell your kids to be in their best behavior. You do all that. It's the same thing. Here you are applying for something to come to the US. US is a first world country, and that's what I tell you. Even when you come and live here in the US, you change. Your thinking changes, your lifestyle, everything changes. And it's not that you want to change. America changes you. There are some people who change for the worst, but there are some people, like everybody has their own change. It depends on the path that you want to take. So please go take a photo that is current. And if it is old, it should not be more than 6 months, because that computer is going to detect. And if it detects, then you will be the one who will not get the whatever. The visa. They won't give you if your photo has problems. So please, kindly, make sure that you're getting the right photo. Because it is what it is. I told you this is US. US is like a plain sheet of paper. You have to do the right way. If you don't do the right way, then you don't get it. So I need you to do that, and I need you to have your passport, and I need you to, when you're going to do the application, tomorrow I'm going to be online on 5th and of course on 6th. I need you to be calm. And I said, there are some people who are asking me if you can use your phone. You can if you have a smartphone, but I prefer the desktop. I always prefer the desktop, because like I tell you guys, now when I look at my phone, when I am reading the messages that people have written, I can only see the message part. But when I look at my desktop right now, I can see my picture here, and I can see the things that you're typing here on the side. So the desktop gives you a bigger area for you to work on. But the phone, you will keep on doing this, and sometimes you might even do it wrong, because maybe for some reason. But if you want to use the phone and know that you are safe using the phone, it's okay. But my preference would be a desktop. Please use a desktop to do your application, and be calm, and just know that when you're doing the application, you'll just do your application, and you won't save it anywhere. You have to do it and get done and submit, because it cannot be saved. Make sure if for any reason someone is going to fill out that application for you, be there so that you give them the right answers. You have to give the right answers, because you don't want to give wrong answers and you end up failing. But my preference, they said, they encourage you to fill it for yourself, because when you fill it for yourself, you know what you wrote there. I told you, this stuff they will stay with it until you become American citizen. It is not that when you fill out that application, it goes anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. That application stays there. When you fill out your DS-260, it stays there. Everything, all the communications, even the emails that they have sent you, they stay there. And then when you go to get your citizenship, they have everything. They have your file. So they will decide whether they can give you a citizenship or not. Because I told you, even becoming a legal permanent resident, it is not a guarantee that you will become a citizen. So I need you to, I told you here we are going to be doing critical thinking. We are going to be doing the things right. So don't feel that you're going to spend money and you don't know whether you're going to win or not. No, don't do that. Because I know even sometimes you can even buy bundles and just sit there and watch stuff that's not even going to help you on social media. So I need you to do that. Another thing that I am going to talk about, but I don't want you to think about it if you have not won your green card, is your host. Now, so many people have asked me, they have even DM'd me, like they have just written me like messages and told me, if I win, are you going to be my host? Now, there's something that I want to talk about here. If like 100 people won, let's assume 1,000 people won the green card, I wouldn't be able to host them. So I would advise anybody here in this forum or where else to just try and have some, it's called networking. It's called networking. Like, you know this person, this person can help you, this person can help you. It's not like follow this person or on social media if they have good things that they are talking about. And follow the people who can bring value to your life. That's what I can say. It's called networking. Who do you know? Who do you know who can help you? Because sometimes you might be following a politician. A politician is not going to help you with anything. They won't help you with anything. They will just come, they'll give you 100 shillings and you go and vote for them, and then they will forget. So get those connections with those people, even if it's through it's their page. make comments, as long as they're good comments, interact with them, interact with people. That's how you get to know people. And then if you have anything, then because you have interacted with so many people, even outside Kenya and even abroad, then you won't have a problem, because nobody, it's not that everybody knows everybody in the US. And me, what I know, I like to connect with people who are beneficial to me. I like to connect with people who can add value in my life. So if you know that that person can add value in your life, or whatever they are talking about in their website can add value in your life, then do it. Instead of maybe staying in Netflix for 3 or 4 hours and you're not going to get any help. Or maybe like putting someone's music like all day. And that's not going to help you, because that person is not going to come there and give you a piece of advice or something that can help you out. I'm not saying that you should not listen to those celebrities or whatever, but also try to connect with something that can give you value in your life. I like to connect with people who can help me. Otherwise, if I see that that thing is not helping me at that moment, then I won't put all my energy there. So for hosts, I need you to start connecting with people. I need you to start looking at what's going on social media. There are so many people who are abroad, and they're trying to help people and telling them the ways that they can come here, and telling them that you don't even have to go to that agent and pay 500,000 Kenya shillings so that you can be able to come to abroad, and telling you this is the website that you can go to and follow these guidelines and do your applications. Those are the people that we want to be following. Because right now in Kenya, I know there is trouble. I know that in Kenya at this time, people are having problems. I talk with people every day, especially since I started this YouTube thing. Oh my gosh. My phone, when I sleep, I wake up, I find so many messages. So kindly try to start networking. It's called networking here. Who do you know? Even, I used to do hairdressing in Kenya. And when I used to train my students, I would tell them, look for one client and make sure that that one client, you know the friend of that client and the friend of that client, so that when I ask you to bring a client to braid their hair, you will that client will tell their friend to come in. That's called networking. Who do you know? Who are you following on social media? So that is what you should do. So make sure that you have a big network, because within that network, when you connect with someone, even when you keep on, like you see me acknowledging people here who are always here every day, because you get it. It's like in class when the teacher is talking and there's that students who is always engaged. They always get noticed. That is what happens even in these forums. We notice who is active. So you find that person, you connect. Be engaged in those conversations, and then you find that if you get a green card and you don't have anybody, like, come on, let's I hope I'm talking to you guys and you understand what I'm saying. So we'll talk about the host. I'm going to do a video about the host later, but right now I want you to get it. And I hope that we have now exhausted everything, because I don't see any other questions. And thank you for watching me. 25 people are watching me. Continue subscribing to my channel. And I know soon we will reach 2,000. Go watch those videos. Those last videos that I have uploaded, all of them talk about DV 2023. And when you follow those guidelines, you listen, you understand my language better. It's not like an American. If I called my son here to come and talk, you wouldn't even understand what he's saying. Even my little one, because Americans talk differently. But this is a language that you can understand, so I want you to get it right. And all I can do here is to champion you and to wish you all the best and to pray for you that you get this green card thing. Because if you get it, your life will change. So until next time, thank you for staying with me. Even after I extended the hours, I talked 1 minute, 12 seconds. Actually, no, 1 hour, 13 minutes. So thank you for staying with me. We will do this again tomorrow. And until next time, thank you and God bless you.